Picking up on the voices of young people demanding for opportunities in business and employment. Good afternoon, John. Please do go ahead.
Raymond, thank you so much for having me on the news today. We've now crossed borders to the neighboring town of Rospina. We are in Oranjemund, still in the Karas region. And like you rightfully said, yes, there are a lot of youth that are crying for opportunities and, of course, looking out to, find where they can fit in and also grow their dreams and also make a living from where they are, to try and mostly, feed their families. But we are edging closer to the day that that's gonna be celebrated back in Rospina on the 16th of June, which is a Friday, at the Scorpion Zinc Stadium in the Karas region, starting from 8 o'clock, which is of course the Day of the African Child that is being hosted by the Ministry of Gender Equality, Poverty Eradication and Social Welfare. But I think to give us much more perspective of what's being done for the youth, to find out what exactly the youth is, what opportunities are being presented here for the youth in Oranjemund and the Karas region at large, is the chairperson of the Oranjemund Youth Forum under the National Youth Council. We have here Mr. Nestor Shami. Mr. Nestor, thank you so much for talking to us. Just talk to us about really, we like we rightfully said in the beginning, the youth are, are trying to find out what opportunities are being presented for them here. What is being done by the Oranjemund Youth Council to really make sure that they have enough opportunities for them and, of course, for everybody that's actually in the town right now?
All right. No, thank you. Thank you for the chance and having me to highlight on some of this opportunity that the youth have in our constituency. Of course, the National Youth Council is an umbrella body trying to drive the interest of the young people. Here in Oranjemund constituency, youth they are also not left out on opportunities. I think what we try most is to work developing enterprises and entrepreneur, of course, to create a culture of entrepreneurs in our country in order to create more productions, and of course production will bring employment. So we also try to connect with as many young people as possible by engaging through social evening. We have one event last weekend where we just bring different aspects and motivation talk to inspire young people in terms of what are the opportunities and what is that they can tap best in this country. I think generally the future looks bright of our country. However, the young people, we need to work hard as much as we can. Here in the constituents office, we work well with, of course, our leadership at the local council and also the constituents office with Honorable Nangolo, who also have so much support of the young people. And one of it that I can also say direct benefits for the young people that have experienced. We are waiting to hand over equipment for young people to start their business, as far as a small enterprise like bakeries, weldings, and also machine to do such small things such as laundry. But those things look small, but they also make a difference in terms of creating jobs. We are also a beneficiaries of the social security programs. We got our constituency 2 million from social security to work on agriculture. And these are also really big investment that we want to do in terms of diversifying the economies in Oranjemund. As you all know, we from the past maybe 8 years, the regions or the constituency or the town has mostly depending on diamond mining. So it's hard time now that we want to diversify the economy, also putting into agriculture with a bigger plantation and also create jobs. And not to leave out some other benefits such as that are offered at the constituency in terms of offering registrations, support registration for any young person that want to register at academy or at any institution of education. The constituency office normally also give those supports in every year. And also, I think it's very important for me to mention that young people need to be well organized and also well united in order to get support and assistance of the government and all other entities that are there in order having the obligation to support the young people. And I think what's mostly need to be looked at also is the private sector in terms of developing a bylaw or a laws that governs social corporate responsibility. Because at a time, I know if our private sector can be regulated in terms of how they can support young people or any other person by regulated in terms of social corporate responsibility, I think that will also bring a bigger differences. Yes.
Nesta, we do know some years back of the Oranjemund Youth Mining Expo that was also held here. Can you tell us why this event is not being held any longer? Because we do know this was quite one that was instrumental to introduce youth to mining opportunities and of course for them to flourish and benefit from this. Why don't we have this event happening anymore?
Yeah, no, thank you. The mining youth is still at the back of our mind. And believe me or you, we're still working on hosting this year the Mineral Festival. Actually, we want to look at a bigger picture and host a Mineral Festival in Rospina. If all arrangements allow us, there are much bigger things that we want to do in terms of celebrating our minerals in a country, and also make use of that platform to make sure that our minerals are working for us and for the young people in this constituency and of course the entire country. And one more thing that I can highlight in terms of youth benefits, like I said, our agenda is basically was driven on developing enterprise to create a culture of entrepreneur. So equally again, in the Harambee Prosperity One, the president have an ambition of launching 121 youth enterprises, and also Oranjemund is one of the beneficiaries again, having to be out of the top 28 that will be funded by the government in terms of creating again enterprises. We are working on a project for manufacturing detergents, and we have about 92 formulas that will produce chemicals that we use on daily basis, such as at home base, and we expect the project to give employment to young people.
All right. Nesta, thank you so much for talking to us. Well, that was Nesta Shaimi, who is the chairperson of the Oranjemund Youth Forum here under the National Youth Council in Oranjemund. So, of course, you were just touching on some of the opportunities and some of the projects that are currently being hosted under the Oranjemund Youth Council. Of course, they are looking at presenting more opportunities. He did mention mining being one of the biggest areas where that youth can actually benefit from. So, just to highlight what the day is going to be like for us here in the Karas region, Raymond, we are going to have Tupopieni tonight at 7 o'clock, and we are going to have a panel that's going to be giving us the perspective on what we're actually going to be celebrating on Friday, which is the Day of the African Child, just to break down the theme, which of course is the rights of the child in the digital environment. So that's basically what's going to be like for the day here in the Karas region. So we will still be heading back to Rospina. So that's more about what we can expect. So it's now back to you in studio, Raymond.
John Ikondja, speaking to young people there, we appreciate you handing it back to us.